Victor Hugo's The Man Who Laughs may not be as widely celebrated as Les Misérables or The Hunchback of Notre Dame, but in terms of tragedy, philosophy, and social critique, it stands on the same level. It is a novel that combines human suffering, biting political commentary, and deep reflections on justice, love, and the human condition. The beginning, a stolen childhood. The story begins with a young boy named Gwynplaine, who is kidnapped by a group known as the Comprachicos. These people were essentially traffickers of children. They mutilated, disfigured, and surgically altered young bodies so they could be sold later as freaks for circuses or courts of amusement. Gwynplaine's face is permanently altered so that he is always smiling. His mouth is carved into a grotesque, eternal grin, a laugh that is less joy than curse, a prison of mockery on his face. Rescue and upbringing. Abandoned in the freezing night, Gwynplaine stumbles upon a blind infant girl named Dee and rescues her. Together, the two are taken in by Ursus, a wandering philosopher and showman who becomes their guardian, teacher, and protector. The trio survives by performing in traveling shows. Gwynplaine's horrific grin becomes the central attraction, while Dee's angelic singing provides beauty and balance. To the crowd, it is entertainment. To Gwynplaine, it is humiliation masked as survival. Love and meaning. The relationship between Gwynplaine and Dee is one of the most beautiful aspects of the novel. Dee's blindness makes her unable to see his grotesque grin. To her, Gwynplaine is not a monster but a kind, noble, and heroic man. She loves him for his soul, not his appearance. This contrast is central to Hugo's message. Society judges Gwynplaine by his cursed face, while the only one who cannot see it loves him unconditionally. Her love gives him purpose, hope, and dignity in a world that otherwise rejects him. Confrontation with power and society. Later in the novel, a shocking truth is revealed. Gwynplaine is actually the heir to a powerful, aristocratic family. He had been stolen as a child, and his disfigurement was meant to erase his noble lineage. Suddenly thrust into the halls of power, Gwynplaine attempts to use his new position to speak for the poor and forgotten. But instead of being heard, he is mocked. His disfigured grin makes the Parliament laugh at his words of justice. He realizes that power is deaf to truth when truth comes from a grotesque face. Disillusioned, Gwynplaine rejects the aristocracy and longs to return to Dee and Ursus, to the only world where he was ever loved. Tragedy and fall. Despite his efforts, Gwynplaine never escapes the curse forced upon him as a child. His grin, which makes him a spectacle to the masses, condemns him to loneliness. No wealth, no status, no political voice can undo the violation of his humanity. The novel ends in darkness and despair, with Hugo painting a haunting picture of a man destroyed not by his own sins, but by a world of cruelty and injustice. The themes and message. The Man Who Laughs is not just a personal tragedy, it is Hugo's indictment of society itself. Through Gwynplaine's suffering, Hugo shows society values appearances over inner truth. Power and aristocracy thrive on injustice and corruption. Those who are different are condemned instead of understood. Even love cannot always save someone in a world built on cruelty. Cultural legacy, from Gwynplaine to the Joker. Perhaps the most fascinating part of the novel's afterlife is its cultural influence. Gwynplaine's grotesque, eternal smile directly inspired the creation of the comic book character the Joker. Just like Gwynplaine, the Joker is a figure trapped between comedy and tragedy, a smiling face hiding a broken existence. While their stories differ, the connection reveals how Hugo's imagery still resonates centuries later. Conclusion. The Man Who Laughs is a cry against injustice and cruelty, and a defense of those society rejects. Like Quasimodo or Jean Valjean, Gwynplaine is one of Hugo's great tragic outcasts, a man whose suffering reveals the moral failures of the world around him. Even today, the novel remains a timeless reminder. When society cannot see past appearances, humanity itself is disfigured.